Hello everyone and happy Friday. Welcome to our first Friday live. So in the upcoming weeks, every Thursday night, we will be asking you for questions that you want addressed on this live training video. During this first week, I just kind of take the temperature of where everybody's at, and it's very typical to see what pops up in this first week of preparation, so I don't need to ask for questions. And also if there's anything throughout the week that I see coming up that deserves a video response rather than just a question, I also make sure to put it in this Friday live. First off, I want to say great job. You guys, I know how you're feeling right now, right? 3 years into this, I know how you're feeling. You're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, especially if this is your first round. That's totally normal. And I want to remind you that anything that was said this week, you're going to hear it over and over and over and over again until you have me in your head. Last night, someone tagged me in a Facebook post saying that what she was doing, what she wanted to do, and then I heard Kylie's voice, and then someone else said, and then I heard her voice too. So you guys, just let it all sink in. You may not comprehend it right away, but every time we say something, we're simply planting a seed. It may not grow roots right away, but every week we water it and we're gonna reinforce it. So whatever you're feeling, totally normal. Remember on Sunday, we post our weekly recap. So I know you guys are busy. You're busy with work. Maybe your kid just got out of school. So now we've got all the activities for the school parade and graduations, even though it's different. So I understand where you're at. I'm just as busy as you. So every Sunday we post that recap so you can watch a video, catch up on where do I find protein, where do I find carbohydrates and all that. Just know this. You are totally supported. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you have 4 coaches here to support you along with the other 80 people on your team. So please reach out to us in the group. So just real quick, as I was getting macros out, and I have a couple people still left to get numbers to for second rounders, please remember to keep all communication in the group because it's really hard for me to manage everybody. And if you put it in the group, Lisa, Alejandra, Leanne, they can catch it maybe before I do, and you're going to get a faster response. So if you've sent me something and I haven't got back to you, I'm so sorry. I've just been drowning this week in macronutrient calculations. So, and I will say, just to toot our own horn over here, our Lift to Get Lean crew, this is a program where we look at your information and we actually crunch the numbers. We don't use an online calculator or have you do it yourself or use MyFitnessPal. That is a huge benefit to this program. Now, as I dive into the questions that came up this week, I want to remind you, along the same lines of feeling overwhelmed, all we're trying to do, you guys, is get a little bit better every day, and that's what we're going to talk about in our call today. But you should not be implementing everything all at once. Just one thing. So if you're following the 5 habits, all you're going to do today is eat slowly, right? Eat slowly. If you are tracking your macronutrients, you don't need to hit all those macros. Focus on your protein. Then once you get your protein down, you can worry about carbs. Okay? So really break it down to where you are at. One thing at a time. We've got 7 weeks. And yeah, these 7 weeks are going to go really fast. I will tell you that. It may not seem like it in week 4, but all of a sudden it's week 6 and you're like, oh my gosh. But take it slowly, one thing at a time. We've got you and you've got this. Now, okay, first reminder was to keep all the questions in the group so you get a faster answer. Second, Michelle, you had a great question today regarding 5 habits and macros. If I'm following the 5 habits, am I supposed to hit my calories? No. So 5 habits, what I love about the 5 habits is there's no measuring, there's no counting, there's no calories involved. You simply use your mind-body connection to what is 80% full. You use the tool of slowing down and use your hand as a portion guide. Remember that infographic from Tuesday. This is a serving of protein. This is a serving of vegetables. This is a serving of fat. I don't have to measure. Now I know, okay? So if you're not tracking, use your hand and your plate as a guide for how much to eat. Now, protein powder, thanks for asking that question. If you haven't seen that thread, let us know so we can tag you in it. But when you're looking for a protein powder, here's what I personally look for. I shoot to have a protein powder that has 20 grams of protein per serving. Typically 1 scoop is a serving. I would go for 15 to 20. Carbs, very small, because you want a protein drink, you don't want a carbohydrate drink. I look for minimal carbs. I personally would not go higher than 10 grams of carbs in my protein shake powder, but that's me. Fats, there's no reason for fat to be in a protein powder. So if it's got fat, for me, it's going back to the shelf. Those are guidelines I look for. 15 to 20 grams of protein, less than 10 grams of carbohydrates, and maybe a gram or two of fat. Ideally, none, but that's me. Look for, most importantly, that protein to carb ratio. If it only has 15 grams of protein and it has 15 grams of carbs, put it back on the shelf is my recommendation, because you can do a lot better if you're gonna supplement with your protein. Collagen. Okay, now here's the deal with collagen. Collagen is great. Great for your hair, it's great for your nails, great for your bones, great for your skin. Not great for muscle building. So my suggestion is hit your protein number. If 120 grams of protein is your protein number, hit your protein number. Collagen is a bonus protein, because the collagen is not a complete protein that's gonna help you build your muscles. So I don't count collagen in my daily protein number. Womp, womp. I'm sorry, but the reason we're eating the protein is to help us build our muscle and keep us satiated. And the collagen protein isn't doing that. Why that protein range? Oh, I would go up to 30, Michelle, totally. I've just never found a protein powder that has 30 grams of protein. Any less than 20, I'd rather eat real protein for me. It's a great question. And basically, because 20 grams of protein is a serving. That's why. So collagen, intermittent fasting, briefly touched on this in the live Q&A, maybe on Monday. You can intermittent fast if you like. Intermittent fasting is not a part of this program. When it comes to fat loss, intermittent fasting is not superior. What counts the most for fat loss is being in a caloric deficit. Now, if you're dealing with gut issues and you feel like you need some digestive rest, if you're having a hard time staying in that caloric deficit, having a shortened feeding window makes it easier. So if you're only going to eat from 12 to 6, it's a lot easier to only eat 1,500 calories. Whereas if you wake up at 7, eat breakfast at 8, and then eat all day long, you're going to eat more calories. So to me, that's the only benefit of a shortened feeding window. If you are intermittent fasting, your number one priority is to still hit your macros. That means your first meal, when you break your fast, you better be coming out strong out the gate with 30 to 40 grams of protein, and that's challenging. If you found a way to make it work, go for it. I will say for women, ideally for women, intermittent fasting is not always the best strategy because of what it does to our hormone levels. So I am not anti-intermittent fasting. I just don't preach it and coach it for fat loss. Talked about Selena and pictures. I know, it sucks. I just had to take pictures today, and it's just a thing. Take your pictures. Take your pictures. You're going to wish in weeks 5 and 6 that you took pictures from this week. So have someone take pictures for you, front, back, side, or use a timer app. Take those pictures. You do not need to be in a bikini. You do not need to be in a sports bra, but just make sure that the pictures you take on this day or this week are the same clothes that you wear in the last week, that the clothes you wear in the first week are the same as the last week, so you get that clear comparison. Same light, same room. I always take my pictures right there. Otherwise, you don't have a clear perspective. And then finally, before I dive into my favorite talk, it's Memorial Day weekend. What? So I don't know what that's going to look like for you, and we'll talk more on Sunday and Monday about strategies for being around people if you're going to be around people. But I can't remember who asked about this. Maybe it was you, Tiffany. You're going camping this weekend. Should I track? Blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal with tracking. Tracking is a tool that we have. It's great for awareness. I don't want you to feel tied down to it or like you can't go out to eat or go camping with your family because you're tracking your macros. You guys are going to learn how to eat, how much, and what's appropriate. What I advised Tiffany is to follow the 5 habits and eat foods that are in alignment with your goals. Is an entire bag of tortilla chips and salsa in alignment with your goals? Probably not. Are 3 hot dogs in alignment with your goals? Probably not. Should you enjoy a s'more with your family? Absolutely. Should you enjoy 3? Probably not. So only you know what your goals are, and only you know what you're willing to sacrifice in order to get those goals. So without getting too far off on a tangent today, what are you trying to achieve? What are you willing to pay for it? But today, another question I want to ask you is, what's the cost of not reaching that goal. So you have a lot of things to consider, and I only bring this up so that you are empowered to make decisions that you feel confident in. I want you guys coming back from your Memorial Day weekend, whatever, feeling I did a good job. I have no regrets. I did what I said I was going to do. Okay? Only you know. If your intention is to go balls to the wall with the Doritos and the hot dogs, you better come back on Tuesday and be like, yep, I did it. Here I am again. It's fine if that's your intention, if you're okay with that. If you're okay with it, I'm okay with that. I don't presume anybody in this group would do that, but I'm just telling you, you're in charge here. You're in charge here. Make decisions based on what outcomes you want to have. Now, that being said, you guys, if you only watch one video in this entire program, if you only catch on to one thing, this is the thing you need to catch on to. Today's talk is called Running from the Bear. And I want you to imagine that all of us, let's use the camping analogy. All of us, we're camping. We're having a great time. Social distancing is over. We are hugging and high-fiving till all of a sudden the bears come. The bears come and they're starting to chase us. We're like, oh my God, the bears! So we're like hauling ass away from the bears. You guys, you don't have to be the fastest person in order to escape the bears. All you have to be is a little bit faster than the slowest person. So in other words, you don't have to be perfect. All you have to be is a little bit better consistently. And this is an ongoing theme of our program. I want to play a game with you really quick. It's called the 0% game. So think about those parents that you know. Maybe it's you, maybe it was your parents who only focus on how much less than 100% that their kids got. So if that kid came home with a 90% on their math test, the parent would say, well, what happened to the other 10%, Kylie? Always coming up short. So if you always start at 100 and subtract, you're never doing enough. You're never gonna do enough. Even if you do 99%, there's still a percent left. We're gonna flip that around, right? We're gonna start from 0 and add. You're gonna feel so much better. So let's think about this. What is 0% fitness to you? Not doing anything at all, laying in a hospital bed? What is 0% nutrition to you? Not only not eating food that's bad, quote unquote bad, but food that's not food at all, things that aren't food at all, like rocks and dirt. What is 0% health? Dead. So how can you guys apply this to Lift to Get Lean? If 0% fitness is being in a hospital in a body cast, what is your current fitness level? Everybody here is walking around, doing jumping jacks, things of that nature. You're at least at a 50%. Good for you. If 0% nutrition is eating dirt and rocks, how much better than 0% are your nutrition habits? You guys have already told us what proteins you're eating, what carbohydrates you're eating, and they look like really great sources. So I'm gonna give you guys at least a 60 for that right now. If 0% health is death, even if you have the stomach flu today, you're doing better than 0%. You're at least 50% healthy because you're breathing. So see how things start to shift just a little bit different when you stop thinking about 100% and you start adding from 0. It's already a huge reframe. So keep playing this game. Start from 0 and see how much better from 0% you are right now. Now, the add-on to that is what can you do today to just get 1% better? Because that's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to hit all 3 macros today unless you already know how to do that. If you can hit your protein, that's awesome. If you tracked yesterday and you didn't hit that number, if you can get a little bit closer, that's 1% better. So take all that pressure off yourself. Take all that pressure to get in a workout today, to hit your macros perfectly, to meditate and do yoga and journal, because that's not happening. 1% better. That's all I'm asking for. And that's all I want you to ask yourself for as well. What would move you forward just a little bit today, and what could make just today just a little bit better? So through this whole process, I am not saying anything new, but we are focused on progress, not perfection. And because of the way I am, the people I attract a lot of perfectionists who are really hard on themselves. So today, the next 7 weeks, I'm asking you to let a little bit of that go, quiet that person down, that inner critic, quiet her down and have somebody else chime in a little bit louder, okay? Now, we have two options, and this is from Atomic Habits. Michelle, if you guys have not read it, please do. I'll post this graph in here, but you can make yourself crazy going 100%, chasing 100% performance, but then burning out and giving up. So even if you hit week 1 really strong, you're going to hit a wall. I know you are. And you're going to crash, and you're not going to want to get back up. But if you get a little bit better every single day, notice the difference in this trajectory. So you're going to get significantly farther along if you go a little bit better every single day than if you go out the gate strong and then crash. So focus on making a little bit of progress today. Don't try and be perfect. Start from 0 and then add, and notice your small accomplishments. Moving forward every single Friday, we are going to ask you, what are your small wins for the week? And I'm not talking about, I lost 2 pounds or I'm an inch down in my waist. That stuff is great, but I want to know, I ate my planned lunch every single day. I gave myself a break. I gave myself a rest day and I didn't feel guilty about it. I drank half a gallon of water. Like, these little things add up to big things. And you guys all know this, right? I'm just reinforcing what you know. So keep showing up, especially if you're like, if your head is spinning from this week, keep showing up, because you're going to hear it all again. Keep trying, and don't let that bear get you, right? So I'll take some notes and put them in the comment section of this video so you guys can journal about this. You've already done what you need to do, right? Because you didn't wait for the perfect day to start. You didn't wait for the perfect body to start. You didn't wait for the perfect schedule to start. You're here, so let's do the best that we can with what we have. And that is another one of our mantras for the program. It's an Arthur Ashe quote. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. That's all we can ask of ourselves. There's no room for perfection in any of this. Let the idea of perfection go. Bye. We don't need it. So yeah, that is it. That's our video for today, you guys. I can't remember if there's anything else, but next week we've got more information. Saturday, Alejandro's going to talk about how to approach your workouts. On Sunday, we'll talk about meal prep and those muscle hypertrophy workouts. And we'll just keep rocking and rolling. Keep your questions in the group so you can get a fast response. And you guys have a wonderful Friday. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.